How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, do me a huge favor, go down and subscribe. If you guys aren't subscribed, please do me a favor, subscribe. Might as well leave a like while you're there as well. Today I want to talk about how weird the Mustang is and some of the issues that not issues, but some of the things that I really just hate about it. I've made a video like this in the past. This video is just expanding on that topic just a little bit. If you guys remember that video, shout out to you guys. But this video has to deal with the slop in the Mustang and how you shift, how it shifts, how the MT82 does, and how much I dislike it. I've driven Shelby GT350s with the Tremec transmission, and those cars are beautiful, and it solves pretty much all the issues that I'm having in the car today. And yes, I'm talking about the transmission once again. We're not talking about an issue with the transmission though. We're talking about how it actually drives and how quirky the Mustang is and how weird it is to drive this transmission. I think the best way and easiest way to explain this is to go take it out for a drive and literally show you guys how weird it is and kind of what I wish to fix and what I wish Ford would have fixed in it. Alright, so now we're in the car. Now let me talk about why the Mustang is just such a weird car and just such a weird driving experience. It's nothing like I've ever driven before, and it's pretty much all negatives, really. I've made a video on this in the past, but it is a very sluggish transmission and a sluggish car, and let me show you what I mean by that. So this car has a feature called Auto Rev Match, and Auto Rev Match and the way they tuned the car is very odd. So Auto Rev Match is great, right? So you can go, that's a downshift. I didn't even blip the throttle or anything. I'm not blipping the throttle, it automatically revs for me. If I turn Auto Rev Match on, the car will still be very weird. This car has a ton of rev hang. So in order to combat that rev hang, what you have to do is you have to hold your clutch in for an extra second or so. And they tuned it this way because it's definitely not just the transmission and everything. They tuned the car this specific way. See, watch, if I go and I push the clutch in, watch how slow those RPMs drop. And on top of that, rev match is off. If you watch, I can hold the clutch in for a pretty good period of time. I'm gonna do a little bit of a downshift. I'm gonna turn rev match on, go back to fifth, turn rev match off. If you can see there, rev match is off. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold the clutch in. But this car is gonna hold the RPMs for me, right? It holds the RPMs, so then I have a perfect upshift. That perfect upshift is fantastic for new drivers. But for me and for other drivers who want to drive fast and want to like slam gears, the revs drop way too slow. And then another thing is, when you have rev match off, the reason why I keep auto rev match on is because of the slop that this car has in its throttle. I'm in Sport Plus, and I still struggle a little bit in Sport Plus mode to blip the throttle properly. So I'm going to switch it over to full Sport Plus mode. And I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to press the gas and show you the delay and how annoying it is for you to like want to rev match the car because of how just slow the throttle response is. And I put a throttle controller in this car at one point, but for some reason it still just doesn't feel right. So auto rev match is off. I'm gonna downshift from 6th gear to 5th gear, and you guys will kind of hear, the one benefit of this car is you can hear the revs, so I don't have to show you the tach. But what I'm gonna do here is, that's Sport Plus mode. You're in such a weird area because you have to rev it up a decent amount, but it's so sloppy. And then again, the rev hang. So when you're upshifting, you have to hold the clutch in for an extra second. It's not just like you can bang into one gear from the next. You have to hold the clutch in. So I'm gonna go from 3rd to 4th. You have to wait. You have to wait for that extra second. So I'm gonna tell you guys when I press the clutch in and when I release. So right now I'm gonna go from 4th to 3rd. Clutch is in and clutch is out. That's how much time you have to wait, or just maybe a little bit less than that you have to wait before you can let off of the clutch. I've actually taken my car into Ford and I've told them about this issue. I've taken to the dealership and I told them this car has insane amounts of rev hang. And they told me, yeah, you can pay for a software update, but most likely it's not gonna do anything. So it's gonna be like $80 and you're gonna be out of everything. First of all, why is that software update not free? Second of all, any tuners out there who can tune this out, I think it's something that's very possible. I also think that they did this as a preventative measure because they know the transmissions have issues. So to prevent you from banging through gears, in the weak transmission, they made it harder to do so because of the rev hang that it has. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, because for new drivers it's cool, but for old drivers, experienced drivers, the amount of hang that it has and kind of it keeping the RPM when you're shifting from a gear to third to fourth is a lot, and it's excessive. The most noteworthy thing I had when I first bought the car, and this issue still occurs sometimes, I get all the way up to red line in third gear, and then I go from third to fourth, and it just hangs there for like 5 seconds, and I'm just like, well, I can't let go of my clutch, otherwise it's gonna burn my clutch like crazy, it's gonna buck like insane, but also like, I have to wait here. If I'm in a race, if I ever do like race the car, that third to fourth gear rev hang would destroy me. I would lose because of that rev hang, even if it was a close race. That's all I got for this one, though. It's just super annoying and super weird how Ford did this, and I have heard a couple. I've heard a couple of people talk about this, but it's just not enough about how just odd this transmission shifts and how weird it is. Because a mechanical car like my Miata or BMW, you know, they're super zippy, they're awesome transmissions, and you just go bang, 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 bang. In this car, it's like, it's just so delayed. That's all I have for this video, though. If you're not subscribed, make sure you go down and subscribe. If you haven't liked the video already, please do me a huge favor and go down and like. But I'll see you guys in the next video.